Yep. Yeah. Still on this same topic on this. The Manitous, the Jinn. See, there's these things called the Jinn. That's a Middle Eastern lore, and basically, the angels are made out of light, and the Jinn are made out of smoke. Uh, basically, so and they say man's made out of clay. I mean, in a way, you think about it, when we die, the body does really just go back to the earth anyway. So I mean, in a way, we eat everything that comes out of the earth, and everything that we eat eats of the earth. So in a way, everything that is alive in this physical dimension is, it's the body is, basically is earth. You know what I mean? Even you watch how you when you see a bunch of dust in your house, you know what I'm saying? That is basically your skin flaking off and settling. So you are turning to dust all the days of your life. So I mean, it's not that far out. All right, all right. Between General Butt Naked, uh, and the French werewolf kid with the coat, uh, then you got the Vikings wearing these wolf skins and kind of channeling the spirit of the wolf. Uh, what's crazy? In Lao Tzu, it talked about. There's a part where he remarks about how in days of old, how people used to walk around in bear skins. You know what I'm saying? And I can't remember what exactly the relevance to that is, but I mean, it's just like man, nature, the animals. I mean, we all are kind of connected. You know what I mean? So I think in times of old, people kind of understood this more. Uh, but it's funny. And then I seen not too long ago a picture of a bear's hands of its bones, and a bear's hand looks a lot like a human hand. It's just the thumb's the same, but they just don't use it like us. The only difference is at the end of their fingers, it's flat, and ours is round. But where it's flat on their fingers, that's where their claws connect. I thought that was just kind of interesting, but uh, there's a lot of lore with the bear, and just all across all cultures, basically, because people would have been fighting them or seeing them in nature and all that, and they're feared and respected. And also, they're those big bearskin rugs, man, are pretty dope. You know what I mean? But there there's a story about how the Indians, like, there was like Satanic Medicine Man took over the tribe, and they started basically sacrificing people and just killing people, and just that, like, they started poisoning anyone. If you didn't like it, you got poisoned. You know what I'm saying? And then they started killing people and then forcing people to eat them. You know what I mean? And it was all. It sounds like totally insane. I mean, because I seen that X-Files episode, then I seen that about the kid with the wolf skin. Then it made me remember this story, and then, so I went back and read it, and it's like it's quite ghastly and it's very scary. I mean, even now, right now, you look at what's going on with Planned Parenthood, and then Cinemax flavor enhancers, uh, Soylent Green City, man, and also they are cloning animals so that, like, outside they look like a goat or a sheep, but on the inside it's got human organs. So I mean, who knows really what's going on? So I mean, in a way, you genetically modify something with just put human genes in it. Even though it's not human, you're still kind of consuming what you're not supposed to be consuming. And in all these cases, and all these, when people start committing, when they come murderous, they do. There's a movie called Ravenous, and this kind of is based on some of this legends here that I'm talking about. Uh, but these Satanic Medicine Men, and it said there was even superstitious, like it made them invincible. You know what I'm saying? And it made them, gave them supernatural power. Whether, like I said, whether it was psychological terrorism, force, power, basically, what is that? It's like re-educationing, you know what I'm saying, and psych ops, to break you down. And this dude, his son died mysteriously, so he suspected uh, that it was done intentionally. This Ojibwe guy, right? I think this is at La Pointe. There was at one time all the Indians were camped out on this island, and when his son died, he went to he camped out by where he was buried, and then in late in the night, a bear came out of the woods and started digging into the grave, and this dude had this special. He had his bow and he had this special arrow, and it's a hollowed out arrow, and it's got a point on it. It's got like 2 points, but the main point, it's like it'll go in, and even if the arrow comes out, that 1 point will stay in, and it's like a little razor blade. So as you move around, the more it cuts you. It's basically, I'm sure a lot of people have deer hunted, so it's the same principle. And he shoots this bear with this special arrow, and then in the morning they go out there to investigate, and it's the medicine man, and he's got on a bear skin. So it's like I'm wondering if, since I've seen this thing about the French, right? And I know the French came and they taught the Indians their first stuff they knew about, European culture. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure if the Lougarou, you know what I'm saying, didn't get to some extent cross contaminated with Indian lore. You know what I'm saying? Because you could see the same thing that these Indians were doing, and also this poisoning that was going on in medieval France. This is like Three Musketeers times, and this is basically, it's the Jesuits. That's their whole thing, is they'll say they'll cut out your heart and they'll poison you. They'll do anything to take you out if you're opposition to their goals. And these Jesuits were also over here. They were the first ones here in America. So who knows what they taught, who they militarized and weaponized with their it's just like, if you've never been exposed to none of this stuff before, and then all of a sudden these people drop all this stuff on you, you know what I'm saying? You can create a big ruckus out in society. I mean, even I think I heard about, like, the guy who started the Mormons and these other guys, and Albert Pike. Albert Pike had his own crew of Indians, like his own assassins, basically native assassins. They were really evil. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of whites that were known. They would go and find the bandits, like people who got kicked out of tribes, and they would employ them as just murderers. That's what they were anyway. That's probably why they got kicked out of their tribes in the first place. And these people went and even radicalized them and used them. And I mean, Indians were so mercenary like. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it was over honor. Sometimes it's just it's kind of like the dudes from Vietnam. After the war ended, they were all sad because they didn't have nothing really to do. You know what I'm saying? So some people get addicted to the action. You know what I'm saying? And see how far they can push it. It's crazy. But there's a lot of blood sacrifice, vampire type stuff. And then you go back to General Butt Naked, how he talks about it. He thought he was invincible because of it. And the Indians believed that these guys were invincible, but it wasn't true because the dude proved it by shooting the guy in the skin. So I mean, that to me it seems like, you know, they were channeling, you know what I'm saying, evil spirits. And uh this is kind of, you know, it's skinwalker-ish. I mean, there's something called Pan, okay? And Pan is the god of the wilderness, the like it according to paganism. He's the horned god, you know what I'm saying? And he's associated with with this sudden fear when you're out in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? And these people, where the term Wendigo comes from is out of desperation and out of fear, or maybe sometimes it's just psychoticness, or maybe it's possession. The Manitou, man, the jinns, man, the fallen angels, the Watchers, influence people into start and doing what it says in Jubilees, where it says the demons will have you spilling blood to them. You know what I'm saying? Or doing things to appease them, and they will assist you or give you supernatural knowledge and medicine, and they can give you power. And you know, like I said, I think that's Da Vinci said, or it's Da Vinci or somebody said that, or Plato or somebody said that the demons is what taught them everything. And this is the same stuff you see going on here. In China, you got the flying dragons that the emperor supposedly flew up and down out of the sky on. Whether this was just trickery with words and people believe superstitions, but you see in Enoch, it says Enoch flew off on a flying horse. You know what I'm saying? So this is a description of someone flying into the sky on a flying thing. And even one of the Chinese emperors, it said he had a flying dragon horse. You know what I'm saying? It's these the same people. But over in China, you could see a lot of crazy rituals, ritual cannibalism, a lot of the same mixing the potions, mixing blood and potions, mixing chemicals and blood, and achieving some kind of achieving effects. You know what I'm saying? Pretty crazy. But right now we got the Humanzi Yerky project, and that's where they're trying to make a Humanzi, a half human super soldier, and supposedly that's what they're making them goats with the human organs, is to feed the Humanzis, man, which is crazy. Because this is off into this territory of it's not quite a shapeshifter, but it's animorph chimeras. Uh, then you know you got in this prophecy Joel, it talks about these things running on the wall and being stabbed and not killed, and then you know yeah, in Revelations, it talks about the locusts coming out of the pit, and then it talks about that they'll kill man with the beasts of the earth. I mean, sometimes beasts mean animals, but sometimes a beast could mean the men who live on the fields and they live by murder. You know what I'm saying? Like Alibaba and the 40 Thieves, or the Thuggee. The Thuggee, like in Indiana Jones, when they pulled out the dude's heart and then dropped him down in the volcano, and they in front of this big thing called Kaleman. Uh, you know, that's a in the assassins or Hashins. Uh, those could be qualified as beasts as well. You know what I'm saying? Anyone who has a bloodlust or is quick to shed innocent blood, psychopathic. Uh, that's someone who has devolved into beasthood. Uh, which is crazy, but and right now transhumanism is where they want to modify man through technology. And there's something called Gaborim, which Nimrod basically became Gibborim, which is, it's kind of like people can go through something and they can change themselves to become a man, a mighty man of renown, which means you don't have to be, I guess, born by the fallen angels. Like there's other ways to change yourself and become the kind of like a beast, you know, by forcing yourself to evolve, you not being happy as a man. I think it's kind of something to it. And then there's the spirits, the angels. They can assist you, you know what I'm saying, or give you technology to do these type of things. So It's crazy stuff, man. This is a great topic, man. More people need to look into it.